Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Broadway Podcast. Want to know what's going on downtown Nashville? Well, ride with us as we take you on a trip down Broadway.
This is the life we choose, life we choose. And honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. I've been doing just fine, alright now. This is the life we choose. This is the life we choose.
All right, Nicole, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Happy Monday. So I was basically getting my haircut today at Black Wolf and Hermitage, where I always go on Mondays, and I was talking to Luis about like certain things like I see on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, like almost like what do you call them, like trends, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like looking at the table, like, cause you remember you went there, like there's this big ass table in the middle,
Yeah.
and so he had Girl Scout cookies there, which that's the thing right now. Like everybody's selling Girl Scout, and I can't have any because we're doing better. But then he had some sourdough bread on there, homemade, that like his housewife made, and I'm like, I hate that.
Housewife.
Well, he's married, but she
Oh.
doesn't. She's a housewife basically. So well, you know what I mean. Like she doesn't work, so like she's a housewife.
Okay.
But do you see? Have you ever seen that? What? So have you seen all
Just say
those?
his wife.
Okay, his wife. But like you see those trends on TikTok where like all these like wives are like at home making sourdough bread and like from scratch, and like it just irritates me that that's a thing. Like that's like a cult. Like all housewives just like make bread now. Like that's a thing. Have you noticed that? Have you seen that?
I mean, I have. Let me just start by saying I don't have TikTok. I'm not doing that.
We have
But
Instagram. It's on
I
there
have
too.
Instagram, and I don't know. I guess my algorithm's not in the sourdough world. It's also not in like housewife world.
I don't know
It's-
why it popped up on mine.
Hasn't
but-
reached that, but I mean, if I don't know. I don't know why. I guess I don't know anything about it. I don't know how you make sourdough. If it's
I
fun.
mean, apparently, like
I
it's a
also don't know how
process.
much a loaf of sourdough is going for at the store. So, like, is it saving you money? Maybe they're just bored. I don't know. It's also cold outside. Maybe they're like,
It just pumps up a lot on my feed. I'm like, oh, I don't give a fuck about your sourdough. And I really hate to say that because like I have a friend that makes it too, and like I didn't think about it then, but ever since she's been talking about it, like it's just nonstop on my Instagram and,
have you tried
and TikTok.
anybody's sourdough yet?
He wanted me to bring it. He was like, take some and talk about it on the podcast. I was like, I'm gonna talk about it badly on my podcast, so I'm not gonna take it, and I don't want to make it seem like if she sees it, like I don't want her to think like I like making fun of her. But it's just like I feel like I say all housewives are like it's a cult because they're making sourdough bread now. Like they just do these like trendy little DIY things at home because they have nothing else to do. Like they're just like scrolling on like Instagram, like what I can do at home. Like
Well, also, I think the point too is that it's better for you because if you look at like a label of like a manufactured like white
yeah,
bread or whatever else, even like wheat bread anymore is probably like not even. It's got all these like different things in it and like all these like even if you look like tortillas, like all these like texturizing agents and stuff that they put in bread and tortillas and all that, so bad for you. Like any form of gum, why are we putting that in food? Your body
they're
doesn't
putting
process.
gum in food?
Yeah, like xanthan gum and all that stuff. Like
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
texturizing agent. It like holds things together.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't process that. That's horrible.
How you know all these
That's-
fun facts about like health stuff? Because every time we talk about like food and like being healthy,
'Cause
like
I'm
you give me
obs-
like a list of like
Because I'm obsessed with it. Like your body's the thing you carry with you the longest. Like,
that's true.
you know?
I mean, we take care of our bodies to a certain extent, but like like, oh, you went to school for that, didn't you?
I mean, not like that.
But like that realm of like
Yeah.
life, because I keep forgetting like every time I like say something about like food and stuff, you like give me like 10 like health facts about it.
Oh my
Like,
gosh,
how
I've
do
thought
you
about
know?
it though. I'm like, if there's something I would go back to school for though, it would be like health nutrition, just something. Because like,
Yeah.
I don't know, for the longest time, I didn't read a label at all. But also I was like 25 and just like didn't really gain weight. Like I could just, or if I did gain weight, it was like so easy to lose it. And so I didn't really care. And then
Now
time
it's
goes
you
on. I'm
gotta
like,
watch
God, I
everything
eat
you
one
eat.
thing. I'm like, ugh. And it also just like, I don't know. It's so bad for you. Like
It is.
there's just like, look at like, I don't know, just how many diagnoses there were of like kids that, like I think a big one was the connection to the red dyes and
Yeah.
kids getting diagnosed with ADD, ADHD and all that. And then I just remember like, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years ago, they were putting like all these kids on Ritalin, which is like horrible.
Oh yeah, I remember
Like, what
that.
are we putting that? What are we doing that? Like kids aren't, their brains aren't even full. Like that's horrible. And then to
Yeah.
come to find out that it was because of like red dyes and like fruit roll-ups, juice,
Oh,
like
yeah,
fruit punch,
cereal and
like
shit,
the
yeah.
cereal, like the all these things that like kids eat, and it like makes your brain like they look at like a photo of a brain and it's like got all this activity going on and they're like that's
Yeah.
disturbing.
So what's
these-
my excuse? I didn't eat that stuff growing up, but I'm still.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but that like.
But that's
They
my.
just-
That's just. I guess. Like for me.
So I
just-
think back to the sourdough thing. I think sourdough. I don't really know. I'm just going off of like what I've seen sourdough like at the store is only like 2 ingredients, 3 ingredients, which is good because it's not about, in my opinion, like calories as much. It's
Yeah.
ingredients.
Well, I guess I should have like tried it and like before I start talking shit about it because like I've seen some. I'm like, oh, that looks good. Like they have like flavored like.
But also, I think they're
blueberry-
bored too. I'll
Yeah, but
say
that's what I was getting at essentially. Like I'm talking about my icks, not the like what's a healthy like because like
I'm
I
just
see
gonna
it and,
defend
like,
it. You know,
it's-
I'm like maybe they're like I just want to be healthy, and I'm like I'm here for that. But if
No, that's what we were talking about last week, and I was like, how you just do it because you like want attention and not do it because, like that. It gets back to that. It's like, okay, you're doing sourdough because everybody else is doing sourdough. Like, is your sourdough even good? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just. So should we like bring some next time and try it?
yeah, we'll find somebody.
It looked
that's
pretty good and
making-
fresh. Like it looked like it was made right. I guess.
I have no idea the process. Like I don't know if it. I literally have no. I don't know one thing about how you make sourdough.
I've seen in like a couple of clips where like I guess you have to put it like in a jar, and it's just it's a process.
This is your algorithm. This is not mine.
I don't know. I think because I actually watch it for more than 30 seconds, so it
So
thinks that
just
like
know-
I'm
it
liking
thinks
it.
you're interested.
Right. So like every now and again, it'll just come up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Just like, oh my god. So I saw how to make bologna. That freaked me out. So like basically, I was watching this video on my threads where like it showed like a factory making bologna, like the bologna in the round.
That's just
with
one of
the-
those things. Yeah, I don't know.
So it wasn't even like meat, bro. Like it was like all they did was add powder and water, and it became and the coloring whatever, and it became bologna. And I was like, whoa, wait. So I watched like 3 different times. So like they put 3 different kind of powders. I guess like almost like you know how like kids eat the oatmeal flakes like when they're really young. They
Yeah.
mix it in the milk and stuff.
Yeah.
It looked like that. It's like they put like a shit ton like in this like round bowl.
I mean, it
and-
makes sense. Like when you think about it, like bologna isn't a part of like a pig.
I mean, I thought it was part of a pig. I thought it was like some form of
No.
pork. I don't know. But so like, I'm like, how are they making the bologna out of powder and water? And like, sure enough, like at the end, they showed you how like after stirring it with water and heating it up and cooling it for so long, it becomes this stiff piece of thing. And I'm like, oh my God, people eat that? Like bologna sandwiches should not be a thing after seeing that.
So your algorithm is how bologna is made, sourdough starters, and airplanes.
An airplane. Oh, it's definitely airplanes. I've been looking at airplanes. I've been researching.
Because mine
airplanes.
is like Japan travels.
Maybe I should like
What?
refresh,
Like,
refresh my shit.
I'm like, I don't think they're doing the sourdough thing in Japan because that's all my algorithm is how bad I want to go to Tokyo. So
I want to go to Japan real bad too. Another one of my icks that I hate seeing pop up on my feed, and they get so many likes and like views, is the guys that like get out of these big ass trucks to a Morgan Wallen song, and they just like literally just get out the truck and walk towards the camera. That's it, and like lip sync the couple words of the song, and that's it. It's like a 30-second snippet of like this guy that has like a country
guy's
look
hot?
to him. Of course, the guy's
That's
hot.
why they're on your feed.
But it's like, yeah, of course,
Is he
that's why they're
tight?
on my feed. That is, well, it's not. That's not my type. Well, it's my type, but like, then I'm like, ugh, because like they'll get out the truck, and it's like this big ass fucking truck for no reason, and they'll have like this country get up, and they're obviously not from nowhere in the country, and and they'll just like lip sync these
tight-ass
songs.
jeans on.
Yeah, and like
You're
they just
right.
like lip syncing the song to like some country music that's like popular right now, and I'm like, that's such a cringe for me.
I always
I hate
say,
that.
okay, well, yeah, I don't have TikTok, but I think my nightmare, like my actual like, biggest ick, or like I would run so far the other way, is if I like say I had a first date with a guy and he was like, let's make a TikTok video or like a dance or like every time I see a video where they're like doing a dance or
yeah.
like whatever, like I always think like the behind the scenes that like I
Like
would
the
be
making of the dance,
yeah.
cringy, because like you gotta practice it like 1,000 times.
And like you're like you want me to no.
I guess
Like,
we're just getting to the age where it's like so like stupid shit just like makes my eyes roll. Cause like yeah, people watch it and shit. I'm like, when you really break it down, it's like, why are we watching some fucking
I mean
person?
they're getting paid, so what? But also I'm just like
It's just not. It's really just like talentless. Really, honestly, like I hate it. Like I really hate it. Like it drives me crazy. And then I catch myself watching it, and or like when you're at work and you catch people like doing it at your job, like at the bar.
oh, I just saw one actually that I was like, no way. They're in an airport. Because I'll tell you what, if I'm like in an airport and you're in my way filming a TikTok, like we're gonna have like I'm
Well,
busting
there's
right
levels
through
to
that
it
thing.
too, because I've seen some really good ones, like actual dancers performing stuff on TikTok, like when they're like in public and they're just doing random shit. And like I see this one guy who like is in the airport and he like he'll like roll his suitcase in the middle of the camera, and then he'll like do a flip and like all kind of shit like in the camera, and like he's actually doing like choreography, and it's like kind of cool. Versus like these
That's cool. Just as long
swinker
as you're not in
boppers
the
on
way.
there like doing some like this is like
No.
I hate
Cool
that.
as long as you're not in the way. I'll die on that. I don't care. You could be the world's best dancer, but like, why are you doing it in the middle of the airport?
Have you ever
Like,
seen that on Broadway when like people are like doing TikToks and you have to like go around them and shit?
Yeah,
It's so annoying. I've seen them do it at work.
yeah.
What
It's-
was like then? Oh, we were in Spain and I saw the girls, because it was like a trend there where like you would like stand from like shortest to tallest, and like you would put the camera down on the ground or some shit, and like you just kind of like record your like point of view from the ground up. And they were doing that like in the middle of this like really busy tourist area, and people was like walking around them like irritated because they're like they had to start over, keep starting over and shit. It's like in the way. I'm like, dude, like, can you not find a park to do that shit at or something?
That's what I mean. I'm like, does it have to be like this guy is a really talented dancer in the airport? Like, is there not like a parking lot where his destination is? That he
Right?
like could like do
He's
that.
like in the middle of like
I know there's an empty Kmart parking lot somewhere.
oh always. But they're because they're closed down.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
R.I.P. But I'm like, like you could do it there, or like
that's true.
get your flight at 5 a.m. when
But then
no-
who's
like,
gonna
I
see
don't
you
know.
then? You know, that's their thing. Like, who's gonna see you if I don't do it? And the busiest spot in the airport between terminal
So
A
then
and
what's the
B.
point of putting it on TikTok? Everyone sees you on there.
Well, because people want to like, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. So we had the Super Bowl this week,
Yes, we
yesterday,
did.
and the world is right again because the Eagles won.
Yes.
Thank God, because people. Oh, what is the thing? Like we stereotype like winners to be like villains. Like Chiefs are a good team, and like everybody knows they're a good team, and they win all the time. They've been winning, and like when you like succeed too much, it's almost like people are conditioned to like not like you. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about it
mean-
that way because like, and that's just like even not sports related. Like in general, like when people win too much, people start to hate you. Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's fair. Yeah, people are gonna start because people don't want to look like they're just like following the main whatever. But I think there's also so many examples where people are the best and people love them and don't think that they are faking it. Like a lot of individual athletes. I mean, like if you think of like soccer players, tennis players, like no one's like, oh my God, Serena Williams is like just gets whatever. Like no, like
Yeah.
they know that
It's a
she
one-on-one
is
sport.
goated. Like
Yeah.
she is literally the best. Like Simone Biles, like you can't say that she does it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start getting on like the side of like the Chiefs and stuff. I actually think the game was fairly reffed. Like
Finally,
they had,
well, I'm not gonna say finally. 'Cause I
and
don't-
look what happens.
they got their asses beat.
like
and-
look what happens when you actually like. There's a 10-yard loss. Like that can make a game, and when you keep getting that over and over and over again in
Yeah.
your favor.
That's very
That
true.
can
And
make a
I want the
game.
Chiefs. I'm not a Chiefs hater by no means, but like I want the Chiefs to lose for so many other reasons because they started to like capitalized on like outside shit going on, like with like the whole relationship stuff, and like they were just like playing all these other cards in their favor because they were winning football. So like they would use like the Kelsey and Taylor shit, and like, or like the Mahomes and his girlfriend stuff. I'm like, dude, nobody gives a shit at the end of the day about that. And like they were pushing it in our faces because like, yeah, the Chiefs are winning, and he's one of the best tight ends of all time, basically, or in my opinion, one of them. And then right now for sure. And now he's dating like one of the most popular people in pop culture. So it's like, but why is that a thing in my face? Like when I'm watching TV and I'm watching my sports, I don't want you to take the camera up to the fucking skybox where no real person can afford to sit at and show me Taylor and fucking what's her name.
They kept it to a minimum last night. I was very happy about that. I mean, obviously, because they also weren't doing well.
If they were winning, I guarantee you would have saw her face a lot more. And I'm like,
got booed though. Have you seen that video?
I did not, and I'm not a big fan of people booing people because like I feel like.
But it was like crazy. I didn't think that it would have been like.
I mean, I'm not gonna say whether I liked her or hate. I'm not a fan of booing because like they showed the president.
I'm not saying either, but like she got like.
Yeah.
Like her face, like they showed like, you know, just because they were showing, it wasn't just her, like they were showing multiple artists and celebrities and stuff that were at the game. And then when it cut to her, she's just like sitting there, like
maybe they had more Eagles fans there than Chiefs.
You would, I guess so, because
it's a neutral thing.
Yeah, it was a new one, but like, whoa, like, and then you see it like on her face, like she can hear because it was loud, and like you see it on her face, like she handled it well, like she just like. Kind of
she's still like, a baddie, so who cares?
She just did like her like eye, like she just does like and then she just, you see her mouth go like.
I think she's the kind of artist.
She mouths like what's going on.
Yeah.
But like, and then they cut like pretty quick, like they didn't.
That's good.
But I didn't think it was gonna be like that loud.
Like very noticeable. I think she's the kind of artist that she's not. I don't think she's used to getting like negative backlash. Like, granted, like she is one of the best like pop artist right now, like she's most famous.
It would just be weird, like what a not full circle moment, because I don't want to say that, but like what a weird moment because she played in that stadium on her tour.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she went to New Orleans. Like that was an added tour date.
Well, this is a football game with football fans from both teams. Nobody gives a shit about
but
that.
It would just
like,
be
you know
weird.
What I mean? Like,
but I'm just saying it'd be weird. Like, you know, you go from like that's interesting,
being loved
like,
in the stadium to being like.
To having a stadium full of booze, like,
I mean, I'm not a big fan of that, but like that's like they show like the president that you heard some cheers, you heard some boos. I really don't like that they do that because it's like people have like difference of opinions at settings like that. Why would you?
I mean, fair, but Philly's gonna Philly, you know.
Yeah,
they're unapologetically about like, and I don't know. I was obviously going for the Eagles for 800 reasons, like 2 birthdays, like it was Saquon and Cooper DeJean's birthday. Cooper DeJean also played for Iowa, so and he was like a rookie, like his 22nd birthday, and you have a massive play, and I mean
it was celebratory. It was worth celebrating them winning. It was a lot of accolades.
My dad's a Raiders fan. There's no way I can go for the Chiefs. Like it's
period. I feel that
there was 800 reasons for me to not cheer.
For for me, it was more. I went to Bama, so like for me, it was like Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. So I wanted to see those guys win. But then Saquon Barkley.
Like 8 or 9 guys from Alabama playing in the Super Bowl last night.
I mean, that's kind of the trend for that team. They've had, you know.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that Saquon won him a ring because he deserves it. Like, for so many years, I'm really waiting on Henry to win his because he deserves it too. Like Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He was he's finally at a better team, so he has a better chance of doing so. But it was just fun to watch.
Tennessee showing out the 2 scores from the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Old Titans players.
Like we give it all our good players.
Like,
it's their own fault.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Tennessee does not give us a reason to be a Titans fan. But no, the halftime performance. Everybody wants to watch the halftime performance, and everybody wants to, you know, stop what they're doing to see what's going on for halftime. But were you impressed or underwhelmed with the Super Bowl performance?
I loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah. I mean,
Why did you love it?
Well, first of all, I love Kendrick Lamar. I've been listening to Kendrick.
Same.
I've been listening to Kendrick since like first album, like when High Power came out. Like that's like before he was even. I mean, he was a lot different then. But then also SZA is my girl.
I love SZA.
I wish it would have been more of her, but I also just think like I don't know, Kendrick had like a solid message, like bring out Samuel L. Jackson,
bro, like
be like I don't know, like I just don't think it has to be. See, it's a performance. Like it doesn't have to be like all the flash and all the whatever. Like I don't think it has. But
isn't that
to be
the expectation
way.
for the Super Bowl performance though? When you think about it, I get that part, and you're right. It should just be like a good performance. But they amplify the Super Bowl performance so big that people pay so much money around it. So you kind of have to meet people's money and expectations. I'm not saying I didn't like it because I'm a big fan of Kendrick, but for a watcher, I'm waiting. What some people wait like months to see the Super Bowl performance. Like people don't even watch football, watch the halftime performance.
Oh, that was concert then.
And it's like for me, I was a little underwhelmed because like I think they just really capitalized and just only focused on that one song because everybody loves it and everybody made that song what it was. But at the same time, it's like I guarantee you half that stadium did not know half the songs he was singing. I did, you did, because we're fans.
Yeah.
But for the majority of the people listening, I guarantee you that they didn't know the first 3 songs he performed.
I will say they really missed the mark having a Super Bowl in New Orleans
And not having Lil Wayne.
Like
and the actual fuck was that about?
I will, yeah.
They missed the mark. They missed the mark a lot. Like, and can we talk about it? Like, people just missing the mark. Like,
yeah.
The Super Bowl missed the mark. The Grammys missed the mark. In some people's opinions.
The Grammys missed the mark.
The Grammys missed the mark, for sure. And this is why. So we're talking about, like I said, last week we were talking about how people should be celebrated and supported, like our local people and stuff like that, and people who's put like a lot of longevity into their like stuff, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna start first by saying, why do we have to stereotype everything? Why is everything a stereotype? And like either it's like intentional or unintentional, but we stereotype everything, and it's almost a little exhausting when somebody like us like look at things like both half empty and half full, and we don't just like biasly go into a conversation and it's like our opinion is what matters and nobody else's matters. But what really pisses me off is that when we talk about stuff like the Grammys and who won, who didn't win, it's like, yeah, I agree. There's been a lot of times where people that should have won didn't win in our opinions, and it's all based on like a stereotype. It's like, why? Like, it's not the first time that somebody has won versus somebody who should have won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why is it such a big deal when like it would be different if it was like so shocking that the Grammys gave it to the wrong person versus like if it was like, we know that Grammys nobody likes the Grammys. Nobody watches it and expects, oh, they're going to get it right. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, and we'll talk about it a little bit with not the CMAs, with the Grammys and how Beyonce won both album and country album, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are kind of heated with it, and I kind of can see why they are mad about her winning that album of the year for the Country Music Awards. But we also can go back to her not even being nominated for any CMAs. But so like you just want her to get shit on both awards, like, and I get it, like it really honestly is not in its totality a country album. It's not. Like, I'm a big Beyonce fan. Everybody knows I'm a huge Beyonce fan, and I listen to Cowboy Carter, and there's like 3 country songs on there. And also what really makes me upset, because I am a big fan of hers, and I consider myself part of like her beehive, whatever, because I know all her songs. But she doesn't, if you're gonna do country music and you're gonna really go down that path or whatever, you gotta give the people what they want. You know what I mean? Like, you see Post D, he was a pop artist before he stepped into the country music scene. He's not just saying I'm doing country music and letting it be. He's doing country music and he's being in the country world. Like,
yeah, he's like actually going to the places that have made country music what it is. I mean,
what helps make it, because there's a lot of country music came from a lot of different outside like influences. So
right, but like he actually goes and will like sit down and write music and like actually like sings those songs, like a lot of them that have made like I don't know, when I think like a true class, like I think like Waylon Jennings, like take that for an example. Like, you're just not gonna see Beyonce sit down and actually
on camera and be like
or sit with like any of those people who like really paved the way. And I understand like she did. Okay, so take her when she with Dolly Parton. Yeah, Dolly Parton is 100% a queen in country music, and she's also very progressive. So of course Dolly's going to support Beyonce and everything that she does, and Miley. And I think Miley has country roots, but I wouldn't even consider her.
Yeah, that's true.
Like she's definitely rooted in country. Like that's a for sure. But like I wouldn't say that Miley puts herself in a box either.
Yeah.
But then like my thing with Beyonce winning that album is Well, one, country music artists are known for being singers and songwriters. Beyonce had over
120 something writers.
writers
Yeah.
on that album with her, and not just writers, not writers that she picked up from Nashville, Tennessee, Austin, Oklahoma, any of these other. No, it was Pharrell Williams. It was
Yeah.
Swiss Beats. It was
It was big time people.
Like those
yeah.
are people that are already just Grammy.
Yeah.
Like they don't need, like it was all those people.
But she
and,
does
like,
help. I will say
and
she
they're
does help
talented.
produce.
I'm not
She
saying
does help produce it. Like, yeah, she doesn't write it.
her name is
all
on
the
every single
time,
one of
like,
them,
she
and I
produces it, yeah.
support that. But like the biggest snub, 100%, I will die on this hill, is Billie Eilish was done wrong.
Definitely done wrong.
So dirty.
I
Her
feel so bad.
Birds of a Feather has almost over 300 million more
Yeah.
plays than streams or whatever than Beyonce's entire album.
Yeah. And for me,
that
like
is-
I said,
And you don't know who her writers and producers on it? Her and her brother.
yeah, for sure.
That's it.
And that's why I was saying, like,
And-
I'm a big Beyonce fan, and like, but it makes me like, it's hard for me to like defend it because it's like,
Like Beyonce
yeah,
has
like, we
all
talking
the,
about like her Renaissance album was amazing, like, and that was good. She didn't win for that, but like, I'm like, but yet you come back around and you give her, like, you know what I mean, like,
And
give
because
her
and, like,
her
your
Grammy
husband-
for when she
your
actually had the
husband
best
went up
album.
there a year before and says that like
Yeah.
she hasn't won, and I understand. I'm like, you think Beyonce, you're like, whoa, how is she not? Like, that's Beyonce,
Mm-hmm.
and she has so many hits. She's like, she quite literally runs the world. Like, you're like, damn, like Beyonce's,
Yeah.
but then like, I don't know. I don't think it's like, oh, then just put something out and we should give it to her because like she hasn't. It's like,
Because but I mean that's the
I'm like,
the
so she's
thing
gotta
that
have
pissed
it
me off
all?
is that
Like-
like no, but that's the thing that pissed me off is like why did you not give her the album of the year when she actually had the album of the year?
that's fair.
You know what I'm
But,
saying? Like she had it like
but
2-3 years ago.
Cowboy
She had
Carter
one of
was
the best
not album of
albums.
the year whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
Like what?
And it's actually my least favorite album she's made.
And I've
like,
listened to it. Like I have songs downloaded from it, but like nothing about it is like.
the Lemonade album, yes, album of the year.
Yeah.
4 album, yes, album of the year. But come on, man. Like
I don't know.
if you're gonna not give it to her, just don't give it to her. But
And I
like,
love
don't piss
Beyonce.
people off.
Destiny's Child was like one of my first ever concerts.
It just is what
Like,
it is. Like if you're gonna do
but-
country music, do country music. Don't teeter tatter. And like for me, like she's like amazing artist. I love her to death. But like if you're gonna, because I love country music too. I'm a big country music fan. And like I like the Chris Stapletons and stuff. So it's like when you're gonna do country music, I want to hear it. Like I'm a big fan of Hootie, and like when he was in Hootie and the Blowfish, Darius Rucker. I think he's an amazing singer. He does country music the right way, and it's unapologetically country. It's him. You can tell it's him, and he's put on like his nephew and all these people like in country music, and that's what I want to hear from the artist. I don't want to hear like a fantastic, because I mean, don't get me wrong, like This Ain't Texas, like that's a great song, but that's it. Like there's nothing else on that that I can be like, okay, yeah, this is whatever. But I was like, just do it like 100%. Don't just don't do it in Beyonce's way and then be like, oh, it's still country music. It's not. Like it irritates. It's irritating to like have to like stomach that as a fan. Like, and then you're not even I've never seen you in Nashville besides having to pay $1,000 for a
That's
ticket.
what I mean. I'm
you know what I
like,
mean?
that
Like you're
is
not on
just
the ground your literal boots are not on the ground in Nashville,
And like I get
Texas,
it. I know she's
Oklahoma.
from the South and everything, but like it's
Yeah, be a real person, man. Like
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, when you think like Post Malone and stuff, that's like the difference is like he decided I'm gonna go from pop and I'm gonna go into country. He's been in like damn near every bar at this point downtown, and like he's heard the people, he's been around the people that are singing the songs, and he knows that like he's taken the time to go and meet the country greats and like tributes to them. He goes on the stage at the CMA Awards and sings the song. Like Toby Keith is like one of the biggest legends of country music, and like he would ask him to sing probably any song and he's got it down. He'll do it. It's just different. I guess.
It's very
like,
different.
I'm
It's
like, I think it
more
all
of like a
plays
show.
into it.
It's more like of a show pony than it is like an actual working horse. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, this is an entity. She's an entity, so like we're gonna give it. You know what I'm saying? Like opposed like Post or whoever's doing country music now is like they're really getting their hands dirty with it and they're like experimenting, and it feels natural and it feels genuine to the audience. And when I think that people's disconnect with it is not because like she's black or she's not black. It's that like it doesn't seem genuine to the audience that listens to it. Like you'll never see her walk into a Luke Bryan's or a Kid Rock's or anything downtown or a Laney's and see her like on the rooftop hanging out with the rando locals of the tourism of Nashville, or you'll never see her like out in like Austin, Texas, at whatever bars they have out there that you know brings that genre of people in. You'll never see that, and then you're gonna have her represent that genre with album of the year. It's like a disrespect to like country music a little bit, because it's like, yeah, she's a fantastic artist, but like, am I ever gonna run into her like no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ran into Post Malone several times on accident, like him in the streets, like going down Broadway on with him and like Luke Combs or whatever, like doing their little video, like that kind of shit is what people draws into, like, oh, this is really, they're really here for it. Yeah. So I mean, as a big, huge Beyonce fan, I just can't get down with it.
Yeah, because like it's cool. Like I think country music like welcomes people in. Like they're always willing to welcome people in, and they're finally starting to get like people are picking it up. You know, like they're making. It's cool to see like. They're definitely welcoming it in, but also like I think country though, along with like, maybe a couple other genres, is so like rooted in like the way like their foundation that's kind of like, okay, we're not gonna shake that. Like we'll welcome anyone in, but like we're not gonna mess with the greats who set that foundation and who laid it out and whatever, because like because I think. So many country artists at the end of the day are so like rooted, grounded. Like you don't see them in the tabloids. You don't see them really starting the drama. You don't see any of that. And so then I just think,
and when you do, it's kind of like very hush hush. And I just feel like the country music genre is very more of a conservative one. So like, if you're going to be a part of it, like you can't kind of play both sides. You know what I mean? Like it's a family. Like anything is a family thing. But like you really can feel like that. The country music genre is like. It's like it is like being welcomed in like as a family, and that's okay. That's their thing, you know. But if you're gonna do it in the way that, especially right now, because everybody talks about like what's going on right now. Do it the right way, how we're doing it right now. And I don't think that she's doing that. Like you saw Shabuzi, he performed on Broadway. Yeah. I mean, it was probably a free concert too. I doubt that she'll ever do a free anything. Like we go to what's that thing called? We go like to on Thursdays that Whiskey does.
Oh, Whiskey Jam.
Yeah, you do Whiskey Jam. I mean, I'm sure you might get paid a little bit, but like just a little to nothing versus what you really get paid for these concerts. But you see Morgan like you pop up sometimes. We used to see. But
that's like a perfect example though. Like Luke Combs, like he's huge. He came out of Whiskey Jam. Yeah. Like it's like.
Like that's cool. Why people are having this argument, and I think people need to like overlook the race thing and just look at fucking what's right and what's wrong, like what's wrong. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like what's the guy's name that we like so much that he I used to see him all the time at Whiskey Jams like that, and he got big over like a couple years, and he ended up opening for Morgan this last tour he did. He's big.
Ernest?
No. He's kind of no. He's like skinny kind of.
Bailey Zimmerman?
Bailey, yeah. I love Bailey. Yeah. But I used to see him at the Whiskey Jams, at the open mics and stuff. He was a no-name, nothing. Yeah. And then he performed I think his first big show I seen him do was the Whiskey Jam when it was outside behind Winners and Losers, and it was like a big thing. And he did great. And like ever since then, he's just kind of like grown and grown and grown.
I love him. Actually, I've never like seen him outside of, I went to a Nickelback concert. And it was so fun. It was at Bridgestone, and like it was like 10 concerts in one, I swear. So it was Nickelback and Brantley Gilbert, like Jason Aldean came out, Jelly Roll came out, all these, and then like Bailey Zimmerman came out, and he sang Rockstar with them, and he was literally going everywhere, all over the stage. I'm like, real? I don't know, like that man can do some cardio, because he was literally everywhere, all over the stage. Like if you looked away for 2 seconds, you didn't know where Bailey Zimmerman was on that stage anymore. Love it. But he sang Rockstar, which is like awesome. And I mean, duh. But no, it was so fun. But he's cool. That's the only time I've ever seen him, though. I've never been to a Morgan Wallen concert. And
I did. It was great. I told you I was expecting it to be bad, because really? Like, I don't know. Morgan was okay. Unlike Taylor, Morgan was somebody who I didn't like at first, and then I liked really quickly. Taylor was somebody that it took me a while to be like, all right, I do like her shit, because her fans are just so fucking obnoxious. They're like, they just make me not want to listen to her. But like, I do like her a lot, and but it was just like so hard to swallow her for a while, because like I was kind of younger when she came out. Like I was still in college, I think. So I was still kind of like the music impersonated me a little bit. But Morgan, like, it took like no time for me to start liking him because like he kind of like rings my bell a little bit because like he just seems like the kind of guy I used to know and like just a shithead, but like we still love him and like he's just unapologetically a shithead. I love everything about him. I feel like he reminds me of myself a little bit, just being like a real person, you know.
Yeah.
And he's became famous by just being himself, so I love it.
Yeah.
But we went on a tangent with that music. You know, it took me it was really hard to say that about Beyonce because you know how much I love her.
I know.
And I've had several conversations about it to a lot of my friends about how they felt and stuff. And I got caught up in like, oh, it's because of this, because of that. But like, honestly, like I listened to that album and I was like, oh, girl, like I like it because I like Beyonce. So I'm kind of forced to like it a little bit. And I'm a little biased when I live here. And then I hear Miley and I hear all these people posts on it. So she has some good songs on it. But I heard Chris Stapleton's album. I heard so many people's albums this year. I'm like, this is fucking the shit. Like, that's why I'm like, Billie, like, her music was the shit this year.
It's
so
good.
We basically should just
album?
get rid of all awards because they're just pointless. Really, honestly, it is. So it's like, you're not going to reward those who have literally earned it and then make them feel some kind of...
Such a dumb mindset.
How? If you're not going to award the right people, then just don't fucking have it.
Or just maybe have different people on the panel who get to decide.
Yeah,
and
not the
stop
130. Based upon the 132,000 buyers, we present to you album of the year. And like, no, bitch, like, get out of here. Let the fans vote.
That's what
Let
I mean.
the fans
Yeah,
vote.
that's what I'm saying. Get rid of that, but don't get rid of like the award. Like that's. I mean, they
What
should
happened
be
to the Music Choice? They still do that? The Music Choice Awards?
the People's Choice Awards,
Yeah,
the
people.
PCAs.
Yeah, no, it's a Music Choice. I thought, or is it People's Choice?
There was MTV Music Awards and there's People's Choice Awards.
Do they still do that still? With the fans can actually like tell the world what they think and not people that are in the industry that are just bought out by millionaires and billionaires?
I have no idea.
I hope.
to be honest.
I'm like, I've never
I don't
voted.
watch TV like that
I guess I
anymore,
think it's like American Idol thing now.
And like it was like MTV, like it was always on MTV, and that's
Yeah.
what people were watching.
Oh my God, remember
like the
MTV?
VMAs?
MTV the show. Remember that? What was it called? Damn. Remember like it was like Bow Wow was on it and all that shit. It used to be.
Wild Now.
Wow, no, girl, no.
Oh, you're talking about Bow Wow.
Like
Wait,
the
what?
MTV, like they used to have like a show and you could watch videos on it, like music videos.
VH1.
Yeah, is that a thing still?
TRL.
TRL.
Yeah, there was like TRL and then like in VH1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like the top 10, like the TRL top 10
Yeah, they would
countdown.
actually show you videos
and they would
stuff.
do the top 10 countdown of like the music videos.
They should bring
and
that back.
Yeah.
So people can actually see the artists, like their video. Because like, remember when videos used to be a thing? Now all of a sudden it didn't become, it was like not a thing anymore.
Music videos were the best.
The best. And it gave you an opportunity to see artists for like their artistry and shit. And now like people win awards. I'm like, have you ever seen a Taylor Swift video? Which are amazing, by the way. But some of these people that like win stuff and you go back and watch their videos they made, I'm like, oh my God, what are they doing? They're literally worshiping the devil. Remember when I went to that concert with, what's his name? He's from England, but he's really big. Sam Smith. Remember I told you about that?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, did he just lose a fan? Cause like we went to, it was at
I know what you're talking about though.
yeah, what was it at? It was like at was it Bridgestone? I think it was at Bridgestone, yeah. And I'm such a big Sam. I love his music.
Oh,
He
his
sings.
Unholy song.
Yeah, well the whole concert.
Yeah.
It just progressively got satanic. And I'm like, I was there with like some friends. We looked at each other like, what the fuck is going on? And this is before he became like, we all knew he was gay, but like this is before he was like doing stuff on stage like that. Like he, not like how X is, he just came out the gate doing that. But like Sam Smith was kind of like known for being like this Englishman, you know, like could sing really good and just kind of was like a suit and tie kind of guy. And all of a sudden he went from that to like S&M shit. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what's going on? Like, it was very satanic. I was like, oh my God. It made me feel uncomfortable. I wanted to I almost walked out of his concert. Like, it was that crazy.
What has been your favorite concert in Nashville?
My favorite concert. Are you interviewing me right now? My
Yeah.
favorite concert
I just randomly thought about that.
Beyonce's Run the World tour.
When you went to Beyonce.
When I went to Beyonce, the first one. I mean, I liked the one she did with the Renaissance one this past year in Nashville, but I was expecting. Well, actually, the Renaissance was great. That was a good concert. But the Run the World tour was amazing because this is why. Because Chloe and Halle were young when they opened for her, and they were not as big as they are now. It was before Mermaid and all that shit. And it was the Jay-Z and Beyonce Run the World tour. They had like DJ Khaled. They had a bunch of like famous like people with them. And it was at Vanderbilt. She sold out 3 times in a row. It was during hockey season when the Preds were doing good, so they couldn't do it at Bridgestone. And that concert was amazing. The second best concert was, I think Ed Sheeran was my second favorite.
I feel like that'd be a great concert.
Yeah, it was so much fun. What about you? What was your favorite one? Please don't say the one we went to at the amphitheater outside. That girl.
Oh, Avril Lavigne
Avril.
and Simple Plan.
I was just there.
I
was
know
like,
you were. No, I wouldn't say that was my favorite. I mean, that was the first time I'd seen Avril. I've seen Simple Plan. I don't even know how many times, but my favorite would probably be, honestly, I had so much fun at the Nickelback concert. That concert was so fun. Matchbox 20 was awesome as well. That could be up there. Matchbox might be it. But also one of my favorite bands like growing up was My Chemical Romance.
I like
and
them
so
too.
then when I got to see them at Bridgestone, that was like big. But I mean, also all those bands are kind of starting to come back around and go on tour, and like Warped is coming back this year, and so I'm like,
Which is good for them too, because it was good to see Simple Plan open for Avril.
Yeah.
Because like you don't want to forget those nostalgic college, post high school college bands that influenced us, like that we listened to. Like it wasn't for some of these bands, we wouldn't know what emo was. Like they created that.
Well, and like when I was younger, I couldn't just go to those concerts because I couldn't afford them, or I was young, or I was whatever. And so then I was like so sad. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna see. Oh, I saw Green Day too.
You did see Green Day.
Green Day was so good. I don't know. I go to so many concerts, and my taste in music is so like just all over the place that I don't even know. Like I still tell people that one of my favorite concerts of all time that I went to was Lenny Kravitz, which I feel like is so weird, but I don't know. It was just so good. He has a full band.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, and he's just like kind of hot too, like in an older guy. Like he just like
he's always been
his
kinda
outfits hot. And like
he's
just
edgy,
he's just so it's like it all just works. And then he has like background dancers or like singers, dancers, and then he has someone on like saxophone, trumpet, trombone, whatever. Like he has a whole he like goes backstage and sings a couple songs so that everybody has to pay attention to like
that's
the
cool.
keyboard, that like they have to pay attention to his band and not just him. Like and like the outfit that he wore when I saw he was in Alabama. And he like bought it from like a thrift type store and then went to like a local seamstress and had it tailored to him. And like, that's what he wore on stage. I don't know. He seems cool. He just
I want to
like,
meet him.
It was the whole thing. And then being like kind of tipsy and hearing like American Woman. I don't know. It was just one of my favorite concerts of all time.
I love that.
But then all of a sudden I'm like, Nickelback. I don't know.
I wish they would kind of like, I mean, because we do live in a town where like we have a lot of good concerts, but like I wish that they would have more concerts that I want to go to, because like I like we don't even have that many country like big name country people for real. It's only like in the summertime, and it's like maybe like 2-3 weeks, and it's whatever.
Cody Johnson's this weekend.
Huh?
Cody Johnson's this weekend.
I don't know. We'll see what happens this month. What happens this year, because I didn't go to many concerts last year. I think I only went to that one little strip of concerts that was in the same weekend. So yeah. But I'm glad we got to do this again, and we got to discuss, like, we agreed actually a little bit, because I wasn't expecting to agree on the Grammy thing. But I mean, after phoning a friend, I was like, yeah, y'all are right. But yeah, thank you for coming back again. Well, you're a permanent member now. I forgot. You're part of the show now, so it's fun. It's actually easy too, because like when we don't have people here, we can kind of shoot the shit and like give the people what they want sometimes, because we're a good match. Thanks again for coming this week. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me again. Can't wait to do more.
Ashbury tonight at 10.
No.
Love you. Bye.
This is the life we choose. Life we choose. And honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. I've been doing just fine.